It's actually hard to see if the stream is live, but okay, it looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. Okay, let's start this off. This is going to be a big one. This is week 3 of the weekly reflections in January 2024. But I just released, well, what's upcoming in 30 minutes is the release of a video that I've been working on for the last 3 months. It's a series that I'm going to be showing a video of for each of these factors, which is the start of life game design right here. What is the philosophy of life game design, and what does it mean to design your life like a game? Then, second in the series will be what are the special attributes and how do they help you understand, organize, and optimize every area of your life? And finally, how do these two things both play, this philosophy and this actionable framework, how does that play into something that you can use and action on in my app? And that's what I've just released today. This free life game design Notion template. It takes the two best features from my app, which are the special system in general and the achievement system on top of that, which I use to do my weekly reflections. My weekly reflections are based on the achievement system, about giving myself credit for all of the things that I've done in every area of life. And so, man, I have been so excited to release this. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. At the end of this live stream, we're going to watch it together so you can see my reaction to watching it. I've already watched the video more than 10 times just for polishing and editing sake, but this is my best work yet. And every time I watch it, I love it so much. For some reason, I feel like this is going to blow up like crazy, and maybe that's just my delusional passion for what I've created, but I don't even care. If it blows up, that's fucking awesome. If it doesn't, we'll still be making that series, because it's what I need to do anyway. It's what I need to do anyway to tell people what the hell life game design is in the first place. And I've done some videos on, well, I've done some posts, as you can see here, on life game design, which I'll show you on my Instagram. So on my Instagram here, I have these posts which summarize the video in itself. They're like infographics. I won't really go into depth of what they are, but essentially it teaches you what's the philosophy, what's the framework, and how does it actually get used day to day. So yeah, if you'd like to use life game design, you can obviously use the free version, but while I'm growing out the channel, I want to see how the power users want to use this. And basically it's a parasystem, meaning it collates your projects, areas, resources, and notes, and even more, it does tasks as well. And it has that under the umbrella of the special attributes. And under the umbrella of the special attributes, you have their areas, which have your projects and memories, tasks, and notes. So it's honestly a way for me to, like I said, understand, optimize, and organize every area of my life without having to use 5 different apps to do so. And yeah, with all that advertising out of the way, let's get into my reflection, because this has been one hell of a week. One hell of a week. Obviously because I'm releasing the video very soon, and because my friend Derek came to visit me in New Plymouth. It's been about a month or 2 since I've been here, and I gotta admit it's been lonely because I don't have any friends here. I've had to meet friends at the gym, and actually just today I met 2 boys, I think 2 guys like maybe a few days ago, and from there it's so crazy because we're going to climb Mount Taranaki together. But let me talk to you. It's so crazy because we're going to climb Mount Taranaki together, but also just today is going to the gym. After the events I had with Derek, I met 2 other guys at the gym who were like super friendly and approached me because I've been meaning to approach people at the gym. The two boys that I met, CJ and Fitsu, Yeah, I approached them because I saw them all the time. I was like, man, I should just say hi. And they were really cool, super friendly, as is everyone here in New Plymouth. And yeah, the connections we make are insane. And also something that happened this week as well is I met another dude at the beach who's in a self-development group of his own, and we connected, and we're pretty much on the same path, which is really cool. But he's just going through it in a different route, and I just had a meeting with his mentor and seeing what their group is all about, and it was really interesting to see people who have developed so much fulfillment in their lives. And for me, because I am who I am, I needed such a articulate framework to figure that out for myself. And honestly, I really like meeting people who have done that without having this without having this framework, because I want to see what fulfillment means to them in each area of life for them, so I can understand and reflect on what that means for me. Anyways, I want to get into this reflection. So, yeah, if you've never seen it before, this is my template. I have tabs for the projects, tasks, and notes that I've done or taken throughout the week, and then I have a set of reflection questions over here. So this is week 3 out of 52. I do the same thing every week over here, and basically I'm going to take all the stuff I've done, copy the links to these pages into this table here, because honestly, when I see like other weekly reflections, I could literally just do it off of this, but I like to list it down. I like to really take the time to appreciate all these things, because in itself, me just plugging and naturally using my app, Life Game Design, and putting in all the stuff that I've completed this week naturally creates a weekly reflection. So I don't really have to go through this mad process, but honestly, every time I do it, I feel so much better after having done it. So that's why I do it. It's a way for me to just release everything that I've been thinking about this week and really appreciate all that stuff that I've done, because I'll show you. So this is still from the week before. Okay, let's start it off with this. This was a thing with an experience. An experience is about your enjoyment, activities, and friends. And so I went to the observatory over here in New Plymouth, and it was the first time. It was the first time that I watched Saturn. I saw I saw Saturn through a telescope, and Jupiter. And let me tell you, like, honestly, Saturn, just seeing Saturn, it's like when you look through the telescope, it's like this pea-sized, yeah, this pea-sized little thing, but you can actually see the ring and the color of it. We see pictures of the planet itself, but seeing it with your own eyes is just insane. And the same thing with the moon. We saw the moon and the individual craters of the moon in such high fidelity that it actually blew my mind. Just seeing something so far away, being so used to how it looks, and then being presented with an extreme close-up of it. There's no way I can describe it. If you have the opportunity, you have to look at it through a telescope. It will change your perception of life, honestly. So, you know what? I'm gonna rate that as a very high tier diamond experience, and I'm gonna be going there again as much as I can, because I love feeling small from watching, from I guess gazing at the universe and seeing the universe. One thing that I found really good, and I sussed quite early, is getting a physio for my shoulder injury. I've had a shoulder injury for far too long, and I cannot let it hold me back from making gains in the gym anymore, because I reached the peak of my strength about a year ago, and a shoulder injury has been holding me back ever since, and I'm sick of not being able to push past that peak that I had, because I got to the point where I was addicted to going to the gym every day. I was addicted to it. And I miss that. I still am, but the only limitation is myself now. I have to limit myself from pushing myself because I keep on hurting my shoulder, and that is the most frustrating thing ever. So I did a lot of research. I looked into a really good physio, and we're gonna sort this out. We are going to sort this out in February. We'll see. We'll see. And yeah, I did a whole bunch of video promotions for my reels this week. Video promotion. I did a whole bunch of reels to promote the video that I'm uploading, which is this: how I became addicted to life instead of video games. I just basically made a whole bunch of reels talking about the fact that I felt like I had wasted all my time gaming, all my life gaming, really, because I spent thousands of hours of time and energy and effort into games, and I thought there would never be any way for me to transfer what I learned from them into real life. But I feel like that's happening now. Man, I tell you, there's something about it. I I seriously have this mad delusional belief that this video is going to blow up, and it's going to let me help all the gamers who are out there who are ready to put all the effort and energy that they know they have from games into real life. And it doesn't mean quitting games or demonizing games. It means learning the best parts about them, learning about why they were so addicting, learning about why they were so compelled to dive into games so deeply, and appreciating that, learning and understanding game design so that we can map out fulfillment in our own lives. Because I think the main principle of the fact that people have game addiction is because they're designed to be so fulfilling. But life is not designed to be as fulfilling as those games. And that's what I feel. Man, I'm on fire today. And yeah, so after I got those reels done, Derek came to visit me over, let's see the calendar. He came to visit me over, came on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and then he left in the morning today on Sunday. And so, yeah, the first thing we did was, we went to the Light Festival at Bukakura Park. Where I live, there's a park, and they've installed like a whole bunch of like light displays and stuff. It's so awesome. It's stuff that you can't show in photos. Like, honestly, even this photo doesn't do it justice. This is why you have to just go out into the world and experience this shit for yourself, because otherwise it doesn't hit the same. It just doesn't hit the same. From there, we were both working from home. I was working on finalizing the app, the free version of Live Game Design, which is this over here. And I helped Derek create his own AI database based on my system of having areas and notes tied together, so that whenever you find a new area of research, then you can tie that area into specific notes, but they all cascade. So let's say he's doing research on AI, and there's the general concept of something like the ethical use of AI, and a subcategory of that would be a problem like the confinement problem that they have, or the containment problem they have with AI. And so if he wants to do specific work on containment, but connect it to the upper branch of what he's focusing on, then he can take all those notes and keep them in the same in separate database if he wants to go to that depth of information, or whenever he puts the notes in the lower tier of database, it automatically cascades to a higher tier. It's a bit hard to show with words, but I don't have time. I don't think I have time to show it now, but you'll see it in later videos. It's alright. Anyways, he gifted me 2 really awesome things. Well, 3. First of all, just like him coming to see me, because he lives in Auckland, I live in New Plymouth. It's a 5-hour drive, but a less than an hour plane ride. But that plane ride costs money, and coming here is a big investment in time and energy. and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But yeah, he also got me a hat from the Seek Discomfort line from Yes Theory. And the whole mantra of Yes Theory is to seek discomfort. And honestly, as soon as I got it, I felt I felt like almost like a pressure that I have to live this ethos because we watched. Okay, tying into that, let me enter that first. Um, you can't see it, but I'm entering it in my reflection. We watched Project Iceman. I'll show you one here. We watched Project Iceman, and it's about this dude called Anders Hoffman, who finished the first triathlon in Antarctica. So the first part of the documentary shows that there have been tons of people who have done uh, triathlons in many different places. There's a guy who did like 100 triathlons in 100 days or some crazy shit like that. And this guy wanted to be the first person, the first quote unquote average person to do something insane. And so he did some research, and through his research, he found that no one had done a no one had done this in Antarctica. And so he he just set out to go and do it, and he got sponsored by Yes Theory. It was like a 5 year ambition of his, to get this done, and the journey, the grind, the hustle, and the adversity that he had to go through was just so inspiring. And I recently did my own first cold plunge just for 2 minutes, and I suffered. I could barely handle it. This guy spent 1 hour in Antarctic waters swimming 4 kilometers for the first leg of his Antarctic triathlon. It honestly sets such a high bar for what I consider discomfort to be. And yeah, the hat that Derek got me really reminds me of that. So at the moment, even today, I was wearing it at the gym, and it really pushed me because there are some times when I go to a certain level of exertion in the gym and I feel like I've done it. I'm sorted. I'm sweet. I hit my threshold, but I know, especially from the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, whenever we think we've reached 100%, we still have 60% left. So this really helped me push in the gym today, and it will every single day that I wear it, and I intend to wear it every day I go to the gym, which is almost every day. And yeah, God, I forgot to take a photo of us in like a horizontal. We didn't take many photos. We did take of ice plunge, but yeah, we didn't take too many other than that, and I regret it because I wanted the photo for this. But anyways, we did our first 4 hour hike. We were supposed to climb Mount Taranaki, but the weather conditions were really bad. And because I was on the hype from the documentary from yesterday that we watched, the Project Iceman, I was like, you know what? We'll just go anyway. But I made sure to be safe. I asked the council person who was at the visitor center for the people who go to climb the mountain, how stupid would it be to go climb the mountain today? And she just gave me this look, and we both started laughing. I was like, God damn, is it really that bad? Surely they're just being a bit too safe. But they explained that if I was to go up the mountain on that rainy and cloudy day, the visibility once I was up there would mean that I could not see past 5 meters ahead of me, and the poles to make sure that I was on the right track are very, very far apart. And if I don't find the right poles, I'll easily get lost, and then they'll have to bring the rescue team and all that. So it wasn't happening. What we did instead is my first 4+ hour hike around the base of Taranaki, and it's a walk called the Enchanted Forest or Enchanted Trail Walk, and that was absolutely insane. It was, I kept on saying it was like, wait, let me turn my nightlight off. I don't know if that comes up in the stream. But just in case, let's turn it off. And that is pretty intense, my god. It's a bit late here. Oh yeah, I can see the orange glow from my stream, but I don't think it shows up in the thing. It's a bit dark in my room. I didn't bother to turn on all my lights, so you have to bear with it, yo. Anyway, we did our first 4-hour hike, and it was difficult, but honestly, it is the most dense hike that I've ever been on, to the point where you're like parting the bushes away from where you are, because the path is quite overgrown. And that was actually just really cool. And I guess on that day I also got some hiking boots, because I'll be using them for a long time. That fits into persistence, where it's like the items that you have or have to maintain to kind of keep your lifestyle going. I separate it from intelligence because there are the maintenance routines of keeping the stuff that I have, and that fits in more with persistence than it does in intelligence. So yeah, and the other thing, I went on a trip. The other thing that Derek got me is the spark cards. Now the spark cards are, where did I put them? Over here. These bad boys. And so the spark cards are cards that help you reflect on who you are, your ambitions, your goals, and what you're about, your values. And yeah, every time we took a break from the hike, we popped it open. I am struggling getting this open without absolutely wrecking the packaging, because it's so nice. Here we go. Okay. So actually at the end of this, if I remember, at just before we watch the video, I'm going to pop open one of these, and we have about, less than 7 minutes before we watch the video together. So let's get into this. So the second thing in terms of attachment is the spark cards. So attachment is your closest relationships. It's not, the problem I see with life management systems is that you have relationships classed in just like family and love, and if you don't have those things, then you may consider your life to be unsuccessful. But you can focus on different aspects of relationships to seek fulfillment in your life in that area of close relationships. And that's the thing. If I were to follow a different subscription to a life management system that said that had romantic relationships, it would be completely empty for me, because I'm not in a period of my life where I need it. I'm not going to lie, I kind of want it, but honestly, if I did, I wouldn't have the time to build what I've built and have the time to focus on this passion of mine. The areas of special that you see here are all the areas that we can find fulfillment in, but also all the areas that we need to understand that are a trade-off, because our time is finite and we can't do everything in life. So that means there's different aspects that we have to focus on. Anyways, what we got next? One thing I learned about the time I spent with Eric is that we just talked about our timelines from work. There's a lot of stuff that you never really talk about with your friends, and we're really good at kind of fleshing out those kind of things. I know that he's a software engineer in New Zealand now, but I had no idea what the timeline of events that happened that led him to be like that. There's a fly here. I'm swatting it away. Yes, that was it. And I guess the last biggest achievement of the week, before I wrap it up real quick, is boom. The video here. We are watching it so soon. I can't wait. Okay. So that means we have to be really quick with this. What lessons did I learn from things that didn't go quite right? I need to plan every day before. What happened is that I set myself far too much for me to do, and now that Notion has a calendar, it's really easy to time block my things. Actually, that is big. I'm gonna put that in intelligence. Notion calendar. It's not a personal achievement, but it's something I was so hyped about. I can't remember when it was. I'm just gonna say it's on Thursday, but yeah, seriously. Notion calendar is massive. What the hell did I just type? Notion calendar. Like I say, it's not even my achievement, but the fact that Notion now has a seamless calendar integration is so huge, because it means this system I use to organize my whole life literally gets seamlessly integrated with my calendar. I have been waiting for this. I have been waiting for this for so long. Anyways, how well do I stick to my plan and stay focused? Very well. What inspired you this week? That would definitely be Project Iceman. I'm gonna speedrun this because the video is starting soon. I wanna watch it. I wanna watch it live. And I want to do a spark card. What's the number one thing I need to accomplish next week? We have a family holiday to Auckland. And also, I want to get started on life game design, LGD full. The full version of LGD, which I have myself, but I need to make it for you guys. And while I grow the channel, like I said, it's going to be free for you guys until it becomes a very premium paid product. I'm going to market it higher than any other Notion creator has, because that is how much I believe in it. And that is how much I believe in the special framework, which no other Notion template has. That's why I call it a Notion app, because it's literally to organize your whole life. Okay, let's skip this. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my friends. And I'm grateful for the time and effort I put into this. Okay. Now we're going to do a live thing right here. I'm going to put it in here so I can save it for later. What is happening with my keyboard? Bro, did my keyboard just die? Come on, man. I thought that wouldn't happen during the stream. We sorted. Okay. Bro, we got 2 minutes. Holy shit. And my thing is spazzing out. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let's see if we can sort this out. This keyboard and this mouse does not agree with each other. Okay, we're back. Okay, this spark card over here, very quickly. What does it say? Looks like this. And I need my mic so I can voice type this. So, this says, what distractions have kept you from pursuing your goals? Not focusing on what is essential, not taking the time, if it's an hour, 2 hours, just to figure out the one thing that I need to do on this day. And if I don't take that time, then it just fails. I end up working on things that I feel like I should be doing, but I don't actually need to be doing. And I guess I base that on following people who are doing what I would love to do, but they're at such a stage ahead of me that I can't compare myself to them. Not at the stage that I'm at. That's what's been distracting me from pursuing the goals that I should be pursuing instead of the goals that I feel like I should be pursuing. Nice. I think the video is ready. Let's refresh this. Yo, it's 9 PM. What are we doing? Where's it at? Yo, let's like our own video. Here it is. Oh my god, it's a 2-minute thing. Apologies for the loudness. Oh, it's I see. I see. Okay. So for that minute, I guess I didn't have to rush so much. Let's continue the reflection, and I'll keep that over here until it's time, and then we'll watch it together. God, I felt like such a rush. I thought I was gonna like completely miss it, but we're good. We're good. Okay. Let me just check my Instagram because I want to see if anyone else is going to watch it. I posted on my Instagram that I was doing it. Oh, my mate Eden. My mate Eden did a story on his thing to count down the release of my video. Fuck, that's so sweet, bro. Hey man, I'm live streaming, watching the release of the video right now. I just want to say thanks so much for sharing it on your story, bro. Honestly, man, I can't wait to do another podcast with you. It'll be sick. I'm so sorry, honestly. We did that recording of the last podcast, which was so cool. I wanted it so much, and I can't believe I deleted it. But yeah, man. I hope to see you in Auckland next week, bro. It'll be tons of fun. Anyways, much love, bro. So yeah, I wonder if he's gonna actually be on to watch it. I don't know if he has the time or not. Um, and I texted the bro. We're gonna climb Mount Taranaki together. Anything else? No, we're good. Okay. Oh, here it is. I'll be quiet now.
This was me 5 years ago, hitting rock bottom in my life. I was jobless, having recently quit my career as a chef, was addicted to video games, and had just reached 100 kgs at 170 centimeters. At this point, I was about to break up with my partner at the time because I felt disgusting. I had been inspired by self-improvement videos to get my life back on track, but I had no idea where or how to start. I just remembered that every time I watched a self-improvement video, I would be directly mocked for all the time I wasted on video games. Since then, I've changed my whole life by using my philosophy and actionable framework of life game design. I got abs for the first time, I've been leading a self-development group, I strengthened my relationship with my family, I started my own business, and so much more. After over 1,000 hours of video games, I felt like I had learned so much from them, but I had nothing to show for it. People obviously don't die millions of times in games for fun. Demon Souls taught me perseverance and resilience towards extremely hard challenges. In Skyrim, I put more effort researching playstyles, quest lines, and lore than when I had to do my classics papers in school. And League of Legends taught me to apply focus and strategy at the same time in high-pressure environments, which converted into skills that I used in my chefing career. Most self-development creators would laugh at you if you listed these as skills, because no one had created a framework to actually transfer the skills from games into real life. I knew that if I had as much focus, dedication, and strategic thinking as I have in games, then I could do so much with my life. We've actually seen this story before, but just in a different context. In The Karate Kid, the student does monotonous tasks daily, without knowing that they were developing skills that they would eventually apply to different areas of life. To motivate them to train these skills, their mentor needed to show them what they were capable of after all their quote-unquote training. When he was finally shown that his indirect method of training developed into skills that he could apply to other areas of life, he got ahead of everyone else. That's when I came upon the concept of life gamification. It was all I needed to completely change my life, but I had a fatal misconception about its use that held me back from applying it in an effective way. And at the time, it was downright cringe. The big creators never took it seriously enough to map a framework to understand life, so that we could apply game design techniques to it. They would repeat the same message that, yeah, life is like a game. You have to spend time leveling up your skills, give yourself XP, make a skill tree maybe, and then you have rewards, and yeah. So that idea was a bit vague for me. I needed something more concrete. I needed an actual framework to go by that I could apply to my life easily. What I found is that on the other side of life gamification, these guys took it way too seriously. They spent 10 hours making these crazy Excel spreadsheets to show their XP leveling algorithm combined with their skill tree just so they could go to the gym once. When they had to learn a new skill, they would have to make another spreadsheet and another skill tree. I was really interested in the idea of designing a fulfilling life for myself, but not like this. Not with that much effort. Okay, so when I was writing the script for this, I didn't even want to call this thing gamification, so I called it cringification. It was so bad that I didn't want to have anything to do with gamification, and I almost gave up. But if I couldn't prove to myself that I could transfer my gaming skills to real life, that would mean that I did actually spend thousands of hours of my life wasted on games. That's when I discovered the godfather of gamification, Yu-Kai Chao. He gave me the exact mindset that I needed to apply game design techniques to my life, but was missing a crucial element towards me taking action on it. Yu-Kai Chao popularized gamification by bringing it to the business world. He used his unique Octalysis framework to help companies implement game design techniques to their business models and their software. Within a few years, these companies skyrocketed their revenue using game design techniques and obliterated their competition. Learning about his story about how he turned his gaming addiction into his greatest advantage and seeing the real-world application of his skills inspired me to study his book rigorously, but I quickly realized my mistake. Yu-Kai Chao's book had no application to the gamification of life. He created it as a manual for businesses, but his chapter on the definition of gamification changed everything for me. He described, gamification is the craft of deriving fun and engaging elements found typically in games and thoughtfully applying them to real-world or productive activities. This process is what I call human-focused design, in opposition to what we normally find in society as function-focused design. Human-focused design optimizes for human motivation in a system as opposed to optimizing for pure functional efficiency within the system. Now that I understood gamification appropriately as human-focused design, I didn't have to cringify my life. This meant that extremely simple things, like making a playlist of songs that I only get to listen to when I go to the gym, could be classed as gamification. The path forward was for me to mindfully apply game design techniques so I could use them to help me enjoy the process of achieving my goals. To distinguish the meaning further, I gave it a new name, because human-focused design doesn't have the same ring to it. The philosophy and actionable framework for creating a fulfilling life for yourself is what I now call life game design. But this philosophy at the time only went so far because I didn't have a framework to understand life itself. How could I apply game design techniques to something that I didn't understand? At this point, I had quit video games for a whole year, but now I had a new problem. The first thing I wanted to fix within my life was my productivity. I had a major issue with procrastination, so I read the Bible. Not that Bible, the self-development Bible, Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits taught me the amazing analogies of how businesses use the 1% improvement rule to skyrocket the efficiency and output of their workers. It was the gateway book into me reading about other productivity books and frameworks like Deep Work, Getting Things Done, the Eisenhower Matrix, and more. At the start of learning these new tools to become more productive, I got really motivated to change my life. But even after all my study on these proven business productivity techniques, I still procrastinated, and especially on going to the gym. And I had no idea why. I started watching David Goggins clips and videos to motivate myself to go, but him yelling at me to stay hard didn't register. This boat could not be carried, and I escaped into my comfort zone. I didn't resort to gaming because I was ashamed of my previous addiction, so instead I looked at the documentaries about how the games were made. Particularly, my favorite at the time was God of War. I learned about the massive amounts of time, effort, and creativity it took to make a game. They spent years playtesting with clay-looking models of Kratos to make sure that his abilities would look and feel smooth for the player. Even more time designing the levels of the game so that they were perfectly paced between combat, resource gathering, and exploration. Surprisingly to me, the finalizing of the artistic visuals was left to the end. Their main mission in the development of the game was to make it fulfilling for the player. That's when I realized that fundamental difference between business productivity frameworks and game design techniques. Around that time, my favorite creators and entrepreneurs were all saying the same thing.
Just actually analyzing life in a game theoretic way.
I think life is a game you can't win. And so you play it to the utmost.
Life is exactly that. It's a game.
And so now how do you play the game?
Your life
as far as I can see it, should be lived by design, not by default.
I thought that if even these guys say that life is like a game, why do I still procrastinate, even when I apply the best proven business productivity hacks to my own life? So I literally created a list to see the similarities and differences between businesses and games. This chart and these 3 questions cleared all of my misconceptions. In both of them, you have overwhelming projects, you have an endless amount of tasks, and you need to research new developments in your company. There were so many similarities, but the end of the list made it clear. You have to go to work, but you don't have to play games. You also get paid to go to work. And it's crazy because not only do you not get paid to play games, you have to pay to play them. I finally understood who these productivity frameworks were made for when I understood the difference in mindset between business owners and game developers. Businesses aim to make employees who get paid do more efficient work to get more revenue. The internal fulfillment of the employee is secondary or even less than to the business, because people need jobs and the work just needs to be done. Game developers aim to make gamers who have to pay productive within the game so they keep playing it. The internal fulfillment of the gamer is primary to the game developer because the game doesn't have to be played. Gamers might not want to pay for it, and they can stop at any time. In short, business success is rewarded externally by money, but the areas of life we want to improve are not. They are rewarded internally, like our mental health, physical health, and learning. What I learned from this is that if we want to optimize things that we have to do, we should apply business strategy. But if we want to optimize things we don't have to do, we need to apply game design. Game developers use hundreds of techniques to create fulfilling experiences for players that work so well, gamers will even put up with boring tasks that they don't even get paid for. This reminded me of a time in my childhood where I ran home every day in primary school to play RuneScape, so I could mine ore to get Guthix armor. It took me months of sitting down at my computer, hours at a time, pressing the mining button. The game design techniques got me hooked on boring tasks to get fulfillment from delayed gratification. And Atomic Habits taught me that self-development is all about doing the boring tasks so that we can get the rewards later. This made me realize that while businesses are the masters of human productivity, game developers are the masters of both human fulfillment and productivity. The stark contrast of these 3 questions made me understand the massive deficit I was starting my life gamification journey from. How much time do game developers spend on making games fulfilling for gamers? How much time do businesses spend on making work fulfilling for employees? And how much time did I spend designing a fulfilling life for myself? Now it was obvious. If I wanted to practically transfer my gaming skills to the real world without cringification, then I had to design a fulfilling life for myself. But before I built the special framework, I had no idea about the fundamental areas of life that we need to balance in order to find fulfillment. My experience with character builds in Fallout reminded me that when I spent just a little bit of time designing a playstyle, I had so much fun with it that I would put even more effort into the game. The best games show you exactly what attributes you have and need to improve to create a playstyle that's fulfilling to you. I got so good at creating builds in games that I knew if I had a framework like this for life, then I could design it exactly how I wanted to. I heard a lot of self-development podcasters and authors talk about the pillars of life being health, wealth, and relationships. But my experience in life and games told me that the simplicity of that system was the exact reason why people felt so lost and purposeless. If this simplified system was effective enough at creating a balance in all the areas of life, we wouldn't have the boom of all of these videos catering to people who either have no direction in life or who suffer with burnout. You haven't noticed, but I've been avoiding the question that I needed to answer for this whole video. How do we actually design our lives like a game? First, we need a framework to understand it. In the next video, I'll teach you about the special framework that helped me and my friends discover the talents that were hidden amongst our memories so that we could develop them into meaningful skills that we enjoy working on. I've also included a free template for you to discover that for yourself. Click on this video to learn how I understand, organize, and optimize every area of my life. I did it.
I fucking did it. God damn. I still loved watching that time and time again. I feel like this is a video that should blow up, but if it doesn't, I'm so happy that I made it. I'm so happy that I made it. Anyways, this is the free version of Life Game Design, and if you want to use it to understand, organize, and optimize every area of your life, this is it right here. And basically, it's a way for you to plug in your projects in every area. So let's say I have a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I'll plug them into my projects, and when I complete them, they go into this over here. And so if I choose the template for this, which relates to the area of special, then it shows everything that I've recently achieved in the last 30 days. And so it pushes you to really roll through your achievements over and over. And also, I think the biggest benefit for me in terms of organizing my life is having all the information and projects that I need to do linked together. So basically, this is that project that I made within Strength. And Strength is about, over here it says, physical health and training. And there are certain areas of information that I need to aggregate and certain projects that I want to do within those areas that I want to manage. So let's say, for me especially, weightlifting is a big area that I'm focusing on. And so it will generate a weightlifting template over here. And within that template, you have your projects and achievements over here. And so let's say within weightlifting, let's say one of my big goals is to hit. What do I want to do? What would it be? I want to go back to incline dumbbell presses. I want to go back to 30 kgs on my incline dumbbell press. So let's say that's my goal, hit 30 kgs on incline dumbbell press, and I'm working on that now. I need to give myself increments into how that's going to actually play out. So let's say I hit 26 kg, then I do 24, wait, let's go back here, then I do 24, then I do 20, and so on. Break it down into sub-projects. I would actually fully write that out. But when you do that, you can see, this is the thing that I'm focusing on. And I'll put a picture to represent the goal that I'm hitting. And because you don't just want this to stare you in the face all the time and you not be able to make any progress for it, whenever you hit those milestones, let's put them into completed. Let's say I finished the 20 kg and I was kind to myself and I designed the life that I want to live, and I gave myself credit for the micro achievements that are going to lead me to hit 30 kgs on it. Then I can see it within here once I finish that. So it shows me over here what I've achieved so far. And yeah, it really pushes you to keep on trying to make that stack of achievements that you want to make, especially within there. And yeah, this is a way for you to see it all in one place. Really aggregate all of that information. So yeah, this is what I wanted to give to everyone completely for free. And that's why I made the video, to show it off for the person who I know needs it as much as I did. But yeah, that's the end of the stream today. This was, yeah, I've been waiting for this for so long. This stream in itself is a massive achievement for me. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you design yourself a fulfilling day.